All right, good evening. Welcome to Teal House Farm. We're harvesting the last of our beets here, making room for some surprise new plants that we got, which I'll tell you about in a minute. So yeah, let's harvest these beets and then I'll show you what I got. So I got my hands on some free end of the season plants. Some of them still look pretty good. No, just wait. The cabbage looks pretty good. The kale looks really good. There's some lettuce starts to look decent. Some of them look pretty sad. These tomatoes look pretty pot bound and sad. Those peppers look pretty sad. Uh-oh. Hang on, Pat. Hang on. I know you want to help. Just wait. But they were free, so we're gonna plant them and see what happens.
You gotta come get mommy. Yeah.
Okay, we start with these onions. I really don't know how these will do. This is not a normal onion planting season for us. I don't really know if you can grow onions into the fall. From what I understand, the bulbs need cold weather to develop, and so I'm not really sure how this is gonna go. But hey, they were free, and I figure at the very least, we can eat the greens off the top if the bulbs don't develop at all, so it'll be yummy that way. The girls all helped me get these planted. This is a little bit of chaos. So after planting these onions, we decided we're gonna do 2 helpers or 1 helper at a time per plant to make it a little easier, because we definitely squashed some onion plants that we had just planted. Isla grabbed some purple cabbage and we're gonna get that planted. I dig the holes for her to make sure they're deep enough, and then she helps me place the plant in the hole and stand it up nice and straight, and she does a great job. The garden is Isla's favorite. All of my kids like to help, but Isla really loves helping in the garden. It's kind of her thing, so I'm excited for her to get older and be able to do more, because it's definitely something that she loves to do. We already have a green cabbage in this bed and a random squash plant that accidentally got planted there. Ivy had to gently break apart the very bottom so that the roots have room to grow in the new soil, since these are so pot bound, and she helps me plant some green cabbage on this side of the bed, so we'll have a mixture of green and red cabbage in this bed. The square foot garden manual said 1 per square foot. We're just kind of eyeballing it, but we're not going to overpack this bed. Next, we go back to the main garden. We're going to plant peppers. I have tons of pepper plants from this pickup, and they're all different varieties. Some spices, some sweet bell peppers. There were a lot of banana peppers. Next up, JJ helps me plant some Brussels sprouts. These guys look pretty sad, so I'm not sure if they're gonna make it, but hey, they were free again, so we're gonna put them in the ground and see what happens. They are really pot bound, but the leaves on top are pretty small, so I don't think that's a very good sign, but we'll give them a shot and see what happens. Mr. P, the construction manager, was getting in all sorts of trouble and stomping on plants, so we zipped him into the trampoline for a bit so we could finish our job. And then I get to work finishing these peppers. As I said, we got banana peppers, which I was really excited about, because when it was actual planting season, or at least spring planting, I could not find banana pepper starts anywhere, and I was disappointed because I love pickled banana peppers on my sandwich. So hopefully these plants do some good producing for us, and I get to make some this fall to enjoy all winter. This baby is like all my other pregnancies. I love things that are tangy, so the more things that we can plant that I can brine and pickle later, the happier I am. It's just some of my favorites. Even when I'm not pregnant, I enjoy it, but it just tastes extra good when I'm pregnant. So pickled beets, pickled peppers, pickles. I pickled some relish, some watermelon relish the other day. I'll link that recipe below. Just whatever, it's so good. Isla helps me get these last few peppers. This cat is in the way, so we shove them off to the side and we get our final pepper plants in the ground. And then we need to water. They say it's going to rain tonight, but I don't see a cloud in the sky, so I am not falling for it. We're going to make sure these guys have plenty of water so they do well in their new homes. Isla drowns them a little bit, but I think they'll be okay. She's just really trying her best to help. The construction manager is allowed to help again with an assistant, and he helps water our established plants, because I figure he won't step on those accidentally.
Mommy, is it gonna rain tonight?
I hope so, JJ.
Yeah, I want it to rain so I can say rain and tacos. Do they need a lot of water? It's raining tacos.
Okay, so we got cabbages planted, and there's one squash plant in there, and there's a few tomatoes, which are looking pretty scraggly. Those might not make it, but we put them in this raised bed anyway. Just a second, please. Got a whole bunch of pepper plants planted, and some more of the scraggly tomatoes. We planted some onions. I doubt those will make it, but we put them in the ground anyway, and then some Brussels sprouts. I still have all of these to plant. This is mostly lettuce. There's some cauliflower, a lot of lettuce starts, and some kale, and a couple tomatoes left over. I'm going to plant them in this empty bed right now. It's got a couple of surviving bean plants. So when I filled the raised beds, I did them differently. That one I did with a mixture of compost and potting soil. It did really well for what we grew in there for the spring. This one I did a mixture of compost and fill dirt being incredibly cheaper than the potting soil. But what happened, it does not drain well, so you ended up with these puddles when you watered, and then the water didn't like sink through. So I think what I'm going to go do is get some more potting soil and some more fill dirt and do a combination of the compost that's already kind of in there plus more potting soil and fill dirt. Oh, you got big muscles? Wow, I love it. With the hopes that that will improve the drainage so that what we transplant in here will do a lot better. Because right now it's basically like concrete on the top. Nothing is really going to grow very well in there. So we need to adjust that. So I hope to do that tomorrow morning. Be able just to run down to the farm store. I just need maybe 2 bags of potting soil and 2 bags of fill dirt. And hopefully be able to shape that up. And we'll get those rest of the things we have left planted. And then this garden will be all replanted with these free plants, which is pretty cool. I don't know how many of them are going to make them. Like I said, a lot of them are really pot bound. A lot of them are real scraggly looking. These are plants that should have been in the ground a month ago. But even if only a few survive, it's literally free food. So why not give it a try? Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.